everyone, welcome back to Wildwood Cottage and welcome back to Wales. It's lovely to have you here. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a good week. I'm back in the polytunnel and happy Easter to you. I hope you're all having a lovely Easter weekend. I've got a few bits and bobs to show you around the garden. I want to take you up to the secret garden and show you the progress that I've been making up there. It's all coming together rather nicely up there. I've been busy in the polytunnel, I've been planting, and I've now got lettuce, peas, broad beans, potatoes, kale. I'm going to put some spring onion plants in that are from the supermarket and just cut the tops off them to use in my cooking. Keep them growing throughout the season. I put some tomatoes in, some chili peppers in, these ones called Demon Red. So I've put them in and I put some tomatoes in. So I've got quite a bit in. I've also bought some horseradish plants and they're doing really well. My seeds, I'm having trouble with my seeds again. I don't know what's the matter with me. Do you know, I buy new seeds and I use them when I buy them. They don't grow. I've changed my compost, still not growing. I'm going to include a bit of that in another video. But yeah, I just don't know what's going on. I really don't know. I don't know whether it was the heat the last 3 weeks. We had some really nice weather. And I don't know whether that was part of the problem, that it's just got too hot and they've dried out too quick. I did water the seeds and they still dried out really fast. So, do you know, I just don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, I just thought to pop on and say happy Easter to you. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you do, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. That'll tell you when I upload new videos. And we're going to go and have a look up in the secret garden. We've got a few jobs to do in the polytunnel. And I'm going to show you a little bit around the garden as well. So yeah, there's plenty to come in this video. I hope you're enjoying the fact that I'm only coming to you once a week. I think it's better for you and I think it's better for me. And I'm having a really nice time in the garden at the moment. I'm enjoying relaxing, I'm enjoying doing the work and just getting on with the jobs and then having something to show you when I come back. And it's a lot better than doing the teaching videos for me because it means that I've got more time to get on with the jobs that I want to do. I will be getting back into doing the recipes, as I said in my last video. But I just wanted to take the time to show you around the garden, show you some new plants that I've bought and show you my progress in the secret garden. And there's another project coming up in next week's video about what I've done on the yard. So there's plenty to come, plenty to come. I've got new plans afoot as well for the Willowpeony. So we are going to do that as well in the coming weeks because I'm going to start that as soon as the weather gets better. It was too hot to do it and now it's too windy and too wet to do it. So I'm hoping to get it done before the end of May and then I can get growing in there as well. But I'm doing a bit of an experiment this year and I thought I'd do some bits inside, the same as what I'm going to grow outside. And we'll see which fares better in the climate that I'm in because I haven't really tried, you know, I've been here 5 years this year and I've not really tried growing a lot in the garden outside. Now Gordon, sorry, I'm a bit itchy, there's a few midges around. Gordon used to grow different things in the garden. He used to do runner beans, peas, potatoes, broad beans and Jerusalem artichokes, and I haven't done much in the garden since he's been dead and since we've had the house. So I'm hoping to do an experiment to see what's going to grow in the polytunnel, what's going to grow outside. So I've started planting inside, hoping to get a head start on the season, and then in the next couple of weeks I'm going to be planting outside, getting all my potatoes done, getting the same things outside that I've got in here, and we'll see which grows better. So yeah, I'm hoping the things inside I get earlier than the things I get outside. That is the plan. The potatoes are coming up really well. I think nearly every one has shooted now in here. So that's brilliant. I'm made up with that. I've got a little greenhouse set up as well. I'll just turn you around and show you that. There you go. One of those little 4-tier greenhouses. I found it on Temu. I think it was £8.50. Now in the shops for about £25 and it's a really good sturdy greenhouse. So I do recommend it. So that's got some plants in and got some seeds in. Yeah, so should we get on and have a look outside? We'll go up to the secret garden, then we'll have a look in the garden and then I'll show you some bits in here. So I'll meet you outside in a minute. Right, so this is my new pond I did have these fountains, and I like them, but it's not what I want to do. So what I've got is, this was up on the yard and the new patio, and I made it into a water feature. I'm going to get another one to sort that out, but for now what I'd like to do is use this and make a waterfall. So what I'm thinking is, at the back over there, I would like to build a waterfall with like a stream going into it. I've got these big rocks, these ones here, and I've got some bits of gutter, and what I was thinking of doing was, from behind the waija there, so it looks like it's come through the fence, is do a bit of a runnel with guttering, that's the word I'm looking for, with guttering, and put some stones either side, and then have it run over the big stones, and run along the little stones, over a couple of big stones, and then I'll make a beautiful sound like a waterfall and come back into the water. So it does have quite a decent sized pipe on it. I could probably fit a longer one to this pump, it's powerful enough. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking with that. Excuse the chickens, and I will leave that fountain in as well, so you've got the extra noise. So the plants are in, they're doing well now we've had rain, they're all settling in nicely, their roots are settling in nicely. My waija will come back, but it may not be this year. It seems to be sulking because it got very dry. It was only out 24 hours, but it's got scorched. I'm just hoping it'll come back. It should be okay, but yep. So the other thing is, finish this border. I just need to do my trellis on the top, and I'm going to train the bramble along the top of it as well. And then I've got my jasmines and my clematis, and I've also got Russian vine in here as well, so that's all going to climb all over the fence, so that'll make it nice and secluded. And then this here, this is the pergola that my parents give me, and what I'm thinking of doing is cutting it so it's 1 metre in height on the sides, and then doing a pitched roof like that, and having a proper seating area in there with a little table, and doing the same with the other one, which I built out of tree branches. And I just think that'll be a lot better in the wind, give me more stability, and it'll look better as well, because this is too modern, it's too beachy. It looked great in their garden, but it just feels too beachy in this garden. So I'm going to reuse the wood that's on it, and yeah, I'm going to make it into kind of like a little hut with a pitched roof, and be able to sit in there if it's raining, do my spinning, do my knitting, put my feet up, make it into like a couch area, and put a table in there, a little table in there, and then I can make a cup of tea, cup of coffee in a flask, and take it up and sit and have a nice drink on a rainy day. So that's my plan for that. I'm going to fill the sides in, and I might just put some see-through plastic on the roof so it's nice and light in there. And then I've got a screen to go around the back here, and I might do that if my husband will give me a hand over the weekend. So that'll be that done. So yeah, the thing I want to do later on today when my husband gets home and he can look after the dog is to put the little runnel in, use the pipe. I might go to the hardware store now and see if I can get a bit more of that pipe, and do a little waterfall going down into the pond. And then I'd like to get some fish. I think it'd be really good with some fish in, but I've noticed there's quite a few pine needles, so I'm going to need to decide whether fish will be suitable for going in there. So yeah, been a busy bee, been a very busy bee as usual. Yeah, so these are the walking stick kale flowers, doing really well. Really happy with them. Very pretty. The bees love it. It looks beautiful from the bedroom window as well. Lovely white colour. So I'm going to leave this to go to seed now. I can still harvest the leaves while it's in flower, but then I'll harvest the seeds and I'll get some more walking stick kale. And the same with that one over there as well, because they're about 3 or 4 years old now. So I want to replace them and start again. I've got a nice big one there as well. So I put the plastic down 2 weeks ago now. So I might try lifting it next week and let the chickens in and let them have a good scratch. And I want to try and rescue some of the strawberries and replant them. the rhubarb's doing fantastic this year, so that's good. And this was the fruit cage. Now, I've been watching another channel, Freedom Forest Life, I think it's called. They're a sustainable permaculture channel on YouTube. I'll pop a link in the description bar, but they talked about fruit yesterday in this thing that I found on YouTube, and they were saying about it's best to cover your fruit to stop the birds getting at them. Now, we do have nesting birds in the hedge here, and last year I had awful trouble because the birds got stuck and they just ate all the fruit and they couldn't get out. So I'm really not sure what to do, whether to try netting each individual bush or whether to try building a proper structure over the top, like a polytunnel structure. I have got piping, I've got that blue pipe, that water pipe, so I'm wondering whether to do something with that so it will look a bit like the polytunnel but with netting over the top. And I could do upright posts and then the plastic pipe over the top and then the netting. So I'm not sure, haven't decided. Yeah, this is where I'm up to with the Victory garden, and I've still got a sore back and I'm still struggling a little bit with it, but it seems to be getting better now. It's been about 3 weeks now altogether. But yeah, I really want to get stuck in. So I've done half of that for the potatoes. But like I say, I don't know what to do about the Jerusalem artichokes, whether to lift them and plant them in different places in the garden and just do one row in here. Or whether just to leave them in, wait until the autumn, dig them all out and then decide then. Because I'm going to have loads of growing space in the other part of the Victory garden as well once that's done. And I can do peas, beans and runner beans outside the polytunnel and in pots on the yard. So I'm not really too fussed about that. I could also do them on trellis in the veg garden. So yeah, I'm not too sure. That's my thinking at the moment. My mint's coming back from in Gordon's pot down there, so that's nice. I've got the grapevine in, I've got the kiwi fruit in. Yeah, so things are looking really good. Oh yeah, I've got some plants to show you as well. We'll just go up the garden and I'll just show you some new plants. Right, so this here is the perennial border, and I am thinking I've just taken a few clumps out of some plants that have just got, excuse me, gone a bit bonkers. I've got an achillea there, which could do with being divided up. I've got a dyer's weld there that needs a piece taken off. I've got this plant here and it just seems to spread everywhere. It is an aster, but it's a very tall aster. So what I'd like to do is take this clump out here from the brown pot down and move that into pots and another part of the garden. I don't mind it being at the back, I don't mind tall stuff at the back, but in the middle border here I do have some other things to go in. This is inula, it has a yellow flower on it. I got this from a lady when I was gardening, and yeah, it's starting to spread a bit and I don't particularly like it as that much that I want it everywhere. So I'm going to take some of this out, it's going to go in a pot, and it's also going to go in the secret garden as well. And here, I don't know whether you can see, but round this loop in here I've got a mass of crocosmia. Now I don't want them in this border at all. They need to come out. They were here when we came to the house, so they need to go. I put them up the top of the garden under the trees and they'll be quite happy up there. I'm not bothered about what's up there. And yeah, this Michaelmas daisy needs dividing up a bit as well, so I'm going to take a bit off this. I promised my mum some because it came originally from my mum's old house, so that needs sorting out. And I'm going to put some new plants in, so I'll just show you what I've bought. I bought the other day, I got this lovely red lupin. I could get them from Morrison's and they're 3 for 2 at the moment, so you get 3 plants for £6, so that's one. I kept the box to put them back in. I've got this beautiful yellow hollyhock. It's going to grow to 2.5 metres tall. So that can go amongst the aster that I'm going to take out. So that's to go in. I've also got another delphinium. I was talking to my mum the other day and I was saying, you know, I just can't grow delphiniums at all. But I thought I'd give it another go. And this one's blue with white. And it flowers between June and July. It likes a sunny position, so I'm going to put it in the perennial border in the full sun. And it'll grow 90 centimetres. So that can go in there. And then I bought these. These are £5 in Morrison's, and they are climbing roses. This one's a wild rose called Wild Queen. I've got one called Blushing Queen or something like that, and that was £5. Now these are going to grow about 2 metres tall, about between 6 and 10 foot. So I've got that one, which is really pretty. I mean, I just love the pink with the yellow. And then I've got this one, and it's called Orange Queen, and this again is a climbing rose, needs a bit of a drink, got a bit dry. And I've also got these few little plants here that need to go in as well. So what I'm thinking is, I'm thinking of having 2 roses in this border and 1 rose in that border, and the delphinium in the middle, because I did get a delphinium a couple of years ago and I planted it in here, and it's a lovely light blue colour. I don't know whether it's going to come back, but I thought that if it does, it'll be a nice contrast, the light blue and the dark blue. So this clump here is going to come out. I'm going to leave the bit at the back, but all this is going to come out, and I'm going to have a rose, a delphinium and a rose. I might take that bit of achillea out there instead of dividing that up. So I can have a rose there, can have a delphinium here, a rose there, and the Blushing Queen can go where that apple tree is there on a pergola, and that'll look really nice because I've got a few roses in there now. I've been moving them round from the top, and look at my magnolia, it's still stunning. It'll complement as well the pilgrim. So yeah, have you seen my azalea? Do you remember it last year? And it was that beautiful cerise pink. Well, the camera doesn't do it justice. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. And it is full. Every time I look at it, it's more full of flowers. It seems to take over where the camellias leave off. They finish. And then this comes. I mean, just look at how beautiful that is. Isn't it gorgeous? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing to look at from the window, and I've got cuttings of it in the secret garden as well. So that's what we're going to be doing on the bank holiday weekend, and getting this organised, because it's getting to that point now where it's going to start shooting up soon, and I want to pinch little bits of it, some to put on the yard and some to put in the secret garden. So I want to do it now before they start getting too big. So yeah, there's going to be inula I'm getting out, that achillea, and some rudbeckia as well, and maybe a bit of that dyer's broom, because I've got tansy to go in as well. I've got one in the secret garden, and I've got one to go in here. So that's the plan. The lupin's going to go in here as well, and the hollyhock's going to go in here, so there's going to be a lovely bit of flower in here. These are I think they're either red hot poker, which I got from my husband, and a hoffia, or Comisia, not too sure. And I've also just noticed a bit more inula there, so I'm going to get that out. How on earth it's got over there when it's all the way over there, I don't know. That's my plans for the border, the perennial border. I've been looking at it out the window and thinking it really needs tidying up. It needs something doing with it. I can do that, and then I can put the chip bark down. I've been moving my logs around as well. I forgot to show you them. I'll just turn you around. My logs here, these are my dead tree stumps that I find. I found this one in the garden. I found that one on the lane. I've got another big one over there behind the cistus there. That's been absolutely beautiful. It smells delightful. I can smell that right round the garden. And then once that's finished, Gordon's lily's going to come back. I'm back in the polytunnel, as you can see, and I'm starting to get things organised for the summer. And I've been out and I've bought some chili peppers. I've bought some tomatoes. I've bought some broad beans as well because I saw them and I thought, you know, I didn't get any planted, and there's 9 in there, so that's good. That'll be plenty of plants. I haven't got my potatoes planted yet. I've been far too busy, and I've got 5 tomatoes planted. So yeah, I've got a good selection. I've got 2 cherry tomatoes, I've got 2 beefsteak tomatoes, and I've got 1 ordinary tomato, one ordinary sort of family type tomato. I think it's Alicante. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it is. Or is it Moneymaker? It's one of the two. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was something to look out for when you go to the garden centre to get some plants. You know how I like to get free plants or get the most out of my plants for my money? Well, when I went to the garden centre yesterday, these plants were £2 each. Now, I noticed here that there's 2 plants in one pot of this one, which is the cherry chili, and it's called Demon Red. So it's a hot chili pepper, like a cayenne type pepper. And I also noticed that in the orange cherry tomatoes that I bought, that also had 2 plants in it. So I bought them because they were £2 for one. And because they had 2 in the pot, I ended up getting 2 plants for £2. So it's always good to look out. Just check in the pot, dig your finger in and just check that it is 2 plants and not 2 stems like that. And you can get yourself often a free plant in the pot. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take it out. Now, you just try and get your finger down in between the 2 plants. Give it a bit of a push. There you have it, 2 plants for £2 instead of 1 plant for £2. So I'm really pleased. I'll take you around and I'll show you the tomatoes that I've got. Because the tomato plants are doing really well. They started off about this big when I bought them about a week ago, and they've doubled in size and they're doing really well. So I'll take you around and I'll show you how I plant my tomatoes, because I do them how I always used to do it on the allotment. I always get tomatoes, I always get nice tomatoes, and I always end up getting good strong plants. So just take you around and show you what I've done. Right, so these are my tomatoes. It's Alicante, and then beefsteak, and then another beefsteak, because I quite like them, they're not too bad. And then in these 2, that's my asparagus behind, and as you can see it's got some fronds on it, so I'm going to plant that out. And then these ones are Gardener's Delight, and I got 2 of those out of the 1 pot. So that's one, that's the other one. Now, these have put on quite a bit of growth since the other day. As I say, they were only about that long, about 4 inches. And yeah, they're growing really well. So what I do is I do them in these deep pots. They're just ordinary deep flower pots that florists have. And I cut a hole in the bottom. I've got one over here. Excuse me, coughing. See, I cut a hole in the bottom like that. And then that gets kind of buried in the soil a bit. I'll show you. Hole. And then you put that in. And then you cover up around it. Like that. And then you put some compost in. You put your tomato in, like I've done in that one. And then as it grows, like a potato, because they are the same family, puts roots out on the stem. And then you keep earthing it up till you get to about 1 inch before the top of the pot. And then you just leave it, and it develops a nice big root system in this pot. This pot then becomes where the roots are. And then because you put a hole in the bottom, it then carries on going to find water. So I don't need to water them hardly ever, really. They do really well because they go looking for their own water. I always think it's better to be a bit more neglectful of your plants and let them go for water. Sorry, I'm a bit out of breath. Let them go and find water, put down good roots, and then it saves you a lot of work. So that's why I use these deep pots. The pots are about 12 inches deep, so you're going to have about 11 inches of root, and then they'll go looking as well into the soil. So that's why I do what I do with that. And also, as you water in them then, you've got a good inch and a half from the top of the pot. You can fill that to the top of the pot with water, and then you know all those roots, when they do get watered, it's going to go all the way down, go through the bottom, go into the soil, and then the roots will carry on growing, looking for more water. So that's why I do what I do. And then in front of that here, I can then plant other things. I've got cucumbers I want to get as well. I want to try sowing them myself, and they're going to go along here in the corner there and on that corner there. I'm not going to do aubergines this year. I tried them last year, didn't work. Don't want to take up the space in the polytunnel. Never been able to grow them. So I've decided I'm not going to bother. So in that corner there and there is going to be a cucumber, and this corner here and this corner here is going to be a cucumber as well. So that's that. I've only done a few flower seeds. I haven't bothered doing too much because the weather was far too hot, and when I did my courgettes, they just fried in the tubs. So I haven't bothered. So now the weather's gone a bit cooler, I'm going to get started with my seeds. I've done my onions. I've planted those shoots of the potatoes. They need a bit of a drink. Some of them have taken, some of them haven't. But I'm not too fussed. They were just freebies anyway. They were just what fell off the potatoes. So it's worth trying. See if I get anything. If I don't, it doesn't matter. So my peas need a good drink and a good dose of fertiliser. So I'm going to water them with sheep poo. My potatoes are now starting to come up. So I'll water them with sheep poo as well. They're doing very well. They're the ones that I cut. Do you remember I said to you that I was cutting them? Well, these ones still need to go in. So I need to get them planted as soon as possible. Right, so I think that's it for me for today. I just thought I'd give you a little look and show you how things are progressing here in the secret garden. It's starting to feel a bit more secluded now. I've got the plastic to do on the shed roof behind you there. I've noticed it's got ripped in the storms, the roofing felt, so I'm just going to put plastic over it, and then there's going to be a living roof going on. So I'm going to take cottage garden plants that I've got for rockery plants in the garden and plant some of them in, and I might get a seeding pack as well. I've got some seeding plants in the garden that could go up there. I've also got geraniums that could go up there. Anything that just shallow rooted, doesn't need much soil at all, will be ideal up there. It'll waterproof the roof, and it'll give a bit of interest from the house and be good for the wildlife, for the hoverflies and the bees and things like that. So that's my plan for that. So yeah, things are coming together nicely, and I'm finding as well that just doing the one video a week that I'm getting more done, so that's good. We'll be able to enjoy the garden together in the summer. Anyway, it's getting very noisy here. I need to go and get the dog up, and I've just noticed a few more things I want to show you, but I'll show you them next time. So yeah, I'm going to go. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you have enjoyed my video and you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe to my channel. Do press the like button on this video, and that'll show this video to more people on YouTube. And hit that bell, because only 30% of you have hit that bell. No, 22% of you have hit that bell to be told when I get new videos loaded up. So do hit that bell, and that'll keep you up to date when I put new videos up on my YouTube channel. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.